Hi, everybody. Recruiting Animal here on January. I'm starting to get my, you know what? I got this camera years ago and I never used it. It's been sitting. Anyway, okay. What's the date today, Michael G. Cox? The 12th, right? It's the 12th of January, 2022. Who can believe it? We've got our old friend back, Chris Murdoch. Murdock, right?
Yeah, not like Rupert.
Right. Okay. Yeah, it's not his uncle. And he built his own wealth. He didn't inherit it. Okay. And he is one of the bosses over at IQTalentPartners.com. And if I remember correctly, what he does is an RPO, a recruitment processing outsourcing company. They take over your whole recruiting process.
Nope. We augment.
No. You're not an RPO. I'm distinguishing you from an RPO. Yeah. He just rents out recruiters and sourcers as needed, sort of on a just-in-time basis. Am I right about that? Okay, yep. Everybody, I got it right. Okay, even though the guest tried to do anything to make me wrong, okay, he had to interrupt me first.
Yeah, it's always a safe bet to just go against.
Michael G. Cox, raise your hand. TheSalesRecruiter.com. Okay. Ivan, alias Iwan Gulenko, Clang.so. He's an IT recruiter who built his own applicant tracking system. Okay, I have to plug something for Michael G. Cox and Rich Rosen, but just so Rich Rosen knows I'm doing it as he asked me to, I'll wait till he shows up. And if he doesn't show up...
Oh, is he here? Is he coming?
Who knows? Okay. You always tell me he's too busy making money. Comes partway through the show. Okay,
it's true. It's true.
He's one of the superstars. Okay, let me see what I got going here. Okay.
While you're looking, I thought the whole point was I thought the whole point was to talk over each other.
That's part of it. Don't worry,
dude. This is weird. This whole intro monologue thing.
I'm not. Am I doing a monologue? I introduced the guest.
Well, we're not interrupting you, and I'm already breaking out in hives. Like, let me talk over somebody.
Okay. You know what? Well, I was wondering. This is, Bob Saget died this week. It's a big deal. He died. Who knows how he's going to sleep or whatever. And everybody, the big thing is, he's the nicest guy in the world, even though his act was as dirty and vulgar as could possibly be. Okay, that's the big shtick with him. Okay, so the thing is, I get these people on my Facebook group constantly posting job ads, and when they join up, it says no job ads. I have a special group I set up for it. Okay, and so the thing is, I set up a system where I just have to send them a note, and I check what they should be doing and why I'm removing their posting. But there's space for me to put in notes. And sometimes I like to put in, read the rules. If I put a nasty message in there, okay, are people going to think I'm like Bob Saget? I have a nasty act, but I'm really a nice guy, or am I going to,
I think people get surprised. I think people get surprised that Bob Saget. I mean, they think of him as Full House, America's Funniest Home Videos. They don't know he's a blue comic, that he does dirty shtick.
Yeah, kind of like the Recruiting Animal. People would be very surprised. I mean, even I would be surprised to find out that he's a nice guy.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We're going on. You're right. I am wrecking the show. But somebody came here and wanted to meet me. So I went with her for coffee, and she told me lots of people tell her they hate me.
Well, this is unbelievable to me. I cannot imagine it's
okay.
Well, I've got a thought on why people aren't paying attention to the rules. I mean, how many recruit? I mean, I get pings from in-mails and emails from recruiters not paying attention to the fact that I'm the co-founder of IQ Talent. They see executive sourcer at Yahoo in the search field, and they're not even reviewing my profile. People aren't taking the time to read anymore. They're just doing what they feel like they need to do, and it's really frustrating. It's like, stop, listen.
They're awful. Look, he's a bad guy, not me. Okay, I told him before we started that I wanted to talk about this. His company has grown recently in the past year from 150 to 400.
Over 400.
Yeah, Chris was going to tell us how he actually hired that many recruiters. No one else can find them.
It's nuts, dude.
So
congratulations, maybe? Was that
Yeah.
the goal?
It's amazing.
Dude,
well,
look at this.
There's a couple
look at all that, man.
There's a couple things that happened. And I went to SourceCon in Atlanta in 2019 and met up with the guy that hired me in October of 1999. And Caldwell Partners became a client. And now we're part of Caldwell Partners. So part of the reason we've been able to grow so much is because they're funding our growth. We were self-funded before. We had 150 people pre-pandemic. We're at 400 and some now. But the biggest majority of the people that we're hiring are new to recruiting, and we're training them on research and sourcing, and we're able to then promote our other sourcers into recruiter roles. And so we just created.
So hold on, you're not hiring people for jobs that you have to put them in. You're hiring them for the future. It's a strategic hires?
No, we're hiring. We do research, we do sourcing, we do full life cycle and executive search. And so where our biggest amount of growth is on the sourcing side. And so we've been hiring. We went from hiring 4 sourcers a month to now 15 a month. And next month we're going to get to 20 to 30.
Okay. Now, how are you advertising? How are you finding them? And how are you competing with other people for those? It sounds like the way you're competing is you hire people without experience who are interested in the field. Am I right?
We hire for empathy and creativity, problem solvers, all those. I mean, these are all things that we look for. To be honest, I'm just being transparent. But we're hiring a lot of people out of food service and hospitality.
Really?
Hey, curious.
Customer service oriented people. Because of our model, we need people that are customer service oriented for the candidates and the clients. And we're hiring.
And they're out of work as well. Hospitality, they're out of work.
Well, they were.
It's not so much that they're out of work. They just don't want to go back to it too.
That's exactly
That's a big part of it.
We have a lot of teachers. We have people that have left the teaching world, social workers that just, wanted to make get in, have an easier job than, doing the social.
But hold on. How does empathy, what has it got to do with sourcing? Sourcing in my mind is still finding good people, writing Boolean strings and stuff like that.
Hey, can we take it?
Go ahead.
Can we take it a step back? Because I need to get a better understanding of what, so you have a client out there that signs up to use IQTalentPartners.com. Why do they want to use you?
We're by the hour and on demand, and we provide research, sourcing, full life cycle recruiters. So everybody staffs for this level of recruitment need. But whenever it gets over that, they use contractors. Well, we set up a professional services model where it's billable hours, more like a lawyer or an accountant. And that's our difference.
Michael G. Cox listen to me and instead of telling me that I was doing a monologue? Didn't I say this at the beginning of the show?
No.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
No,
he kind of did. I just gave you a little more detail. Kind of did.
Look, I don't understand what he's saying whenever we're not talking over him. It's just like
Michael G. Cox posted on my Facebook group the other day that he was doing a pity posting. Okay. In fact, I think there was something vulgar in the way he put it, but a pity posting, because I was jealous. He said that he prefers.
No, it's because you get butt hurt that I'm always posting over on the hurt.
That's bad. You should not use that. That's out of Bob Saget's comedy routine. But here's the point. All it did was open a can of worms. All the people who are fetching about me all the time and saying how awful I am, well, they just said, well, why would you want to post here if you're not rabble-rousing, okay? Well, that's baloney, you guys.
It's true, man. It's true.
Not true. I got to put... no.
Some people were born with a silver spoon in their mouths, okay? The animal was born with a big ladle and he just stirs the pot.
That's not true. That's not true. Okay.
It's a little true. It's a little true.
Wait a second.
Very true.
Wait a second. Was there something else you wanted to know? I wanted to know how you were finding the people. I wanted to know how you were finding those hospitality people.
And on top of how you're finding them, I want to know why do you hire people without experience because they're cheaper?
No, we don't just hire people without experience. We have people that this is their second career. So we have all sorts.
I mean, without recruiting experience. Sorry.
Yes. So this is in our Nashville office. This is where we're doing most of our hiring of sourcers and
just so Rich knows. Rich, I'm going to do your ad in a few minutes. Just hold on. Don't leave till I get a chance.
He's on the phone, dude. He's not listening to you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So go ahead. Continue then. But I have a question. I want you to tell me how you can determine that these people have empathy, that they're problem solvers, all these things that I can never figure out that you claim you know how to do. But go ahead, answer Michael G. Cox first.
All right. So we of course, we do the postings, but the majority of the people that we're bringing in are friends or friends of friends. We even have significant others that are just tired.
Wait a second. You're talking 250 people. That's all referrals?
For the most part, that's how our business has been built. So we don't even have a sales force. Everything we have is inbound, and we have more demand than we can handle. And so that's why we're
good referrals.
Yeah, excellent people. And
well, you know what? No. The thing is, they don't.
My
have
assumption is this guy's figured out. My assumption is that this guy's figured out how to train people to source and recruit.
Our training program is 2 weeks of classroom and then 2 weeks of shadow before they're deployed on a client. And so we give
before you let them touch a client, right?
Yeah, they're in the behind the scenes, but we walk them through the entire process. But we're not just. This is one of the reasons why we hire for empathetic problem solvers that are creative thinkers. Because we don't teach them, we don't tell them what to do. We give them the tools, we give them the why, and then they can kind of develop their own style. We can say, these are the different components of research. This is the different components of doing the outreach and the pre-screen. And then eventually we also train people to do full life cycle recruiting. So I
would feel guilty charging for someone with 2 weeks training and no experience. You don't, obviously. Am I right about that?
Why would you feel guilty?
Maybe you wouldn't train them as well.
Why would you feel guilty? I mean, I closed my two deals my first 10 days on the job. Why would you feel guilty?
We've had clients, large multinational software companies, push back, just like you just said, on somebody who was only 30 days, out of training. And we said, give them a shot. If it doesn't work out, we'll take care of you. And every case, then they come back and say, I need more, just like that person. And so our training program is phenomenal. It is phenomenal. And it's because we hire the right people.
I want to know what
is this all remote? Is this all remote? Because I see your people are mostly in Nashville, or is it like a mix now? Or
the classroom is local. So for the new to sourcing, new to recruiting, they have to be here in Nashville. We do hire, recruiters, contract recruiters and full-time employee recruiters all over the country. We've even got some team members in Latin America and in Europe. They go through the same training. They don't do the 4
Wait a second.
weeks.
I'm going to interrupt you. Before you go into the training, Rich gave me a great segue. I'm burning here to get this off my mind, okay? He said, I made 2 placements in my first week. You're a superstar, Rich. He hired 250 people. I can't believe they're all like you, okay?
And none of them are named Rich Rosen.
I mean, how are they doing it then?
Wait, I don't know. We're going to find out. But here's the thing. I'm announcing that the Recruiting Animal Show is officially backing these 2 guys for best recruiting company in America. Michael G. Cox.
There you go.
Okay, with his stupid company name, ZAGWORX.com, Zagworks.com, and
Thank
Rich
you.
Rosen, raise your hand, okay? He's cornerstonesearch.com. Okay, all you
That's a much more traditional name.
Follow the instructions. Go to coldcallrecruiter.com, look up, and you can vote for more than one person, okay?
Up to 10.
This guy.
Vote for me 5 times.
Zagworks,
Vote for Rich 5 times.
Zagworks and cornerstonesearch.com. The rest of us are not American, so we don't count. We're borscht, right? And he's
You
not
can
a
still vote.
solo recruiter.
You can still vote.
You can still vote. And by the way,
vote, but
if you don't like me and you don't like Rich, that's totally okay. Just vote for us so that Corn Fairy gets like that many fewer votes.
Okay, there you go.
And Robert Half.
Yeah, he's a revenge guy. Okay, so Chris Murdoch.
Wait, can I have a question for you? Adam, hang on a second. Hang on. I'm just curious. I came in late. So are your, traditional recruiters like, sit in the office, sit at home, whatever, or are they going to work like you do hospitality, so for like Marriott, and you're just gonna kind of like RPO them out, or?
No, so they're employees of IQ Talent. We train them. We have researchers, we have sourcers, we have full life cycle recruiters, and they're employees of us. We do have some contractors, and then they augment our clients' in-house recruiting team. So in some of our smaller clients, we are the recruitment team, but oftentimes we end up replacing ourselves and then augmenting that person or that team that we
charges by the hour for these people as needed.
Yeah, by the hour and on demand.
Interesting. That's like Boris. So I had a friend who sold his company at Robinhood. He had a similar model. It was a phenomenal model. Yeah. So yeah. So yeah. Exactly.
But Rich, in the past year, he's expanded from 150 people to 400.
Yeah. Good for him. That's awesome.
It's crazy.
So the question is, he says his key is he knows how to train these newbies who have no recruiting experience. He's going to tell us all about it right now. Go ahead.
So you want me to give you the special sauce, or?
What I'm going to do is
there's only 3 steps, right? So it's good. Let's hear him.
I'm going to send him like somebody to go work for him and go through the training and then hire them back.
Come to you. Yeah.
Now that's on the record. I'm going to be looking for everyone that's connected to you on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
No, but this is why we hire the type of people that we do. I mean, we've got, the United Colors of Benetton. I date myself by saying that, but we hire, there's no one type of person other than some of these soft skills. And then we walk them through the process that we know works, which is, how do you do a kickoff call? Doing the calibration, turning around calibration profiles to show that we understand, to make sure that there's a dialogue. And really,
what's a calibration profile? Am I the only one who doesn't know?
So you tell me you want skills ABC, you want experiences of ABC. And so my job is to show you that I understood, because I don't want to even though we're billable hours, we want to make sure that we're being effective and efficient with our time, because that's when clients start questioning how much time we put in on this. They want to see results immediately. And so we teach everyone to say, hey, this is what I understood. This candidate has ABC. They have AB over here, and D, is that okay? And we start that dialogue on the front end so that we're not contacting a bunch of candidates that don't fit. We want to make sure we understand what people are looking for. We call them diamond candidates. We want to make sure that candidates are, fitting 85% or better of what our clients are looking for. We try to figure that out in the first 24 hours. So by the end of that first week, we've already contacted 100 or more people that fit the skill set, and we're screening people the following week and submitting them within the first 2 weeks. So sense of urgency, clarity, et cetera.
How many people do you have to let go in the first, let's say, 2 months, where it's like you tell them 40 times, okay, you have to check for ABC, the client asks for ABC, but you are not delivering ABC, you're just delivering A. So it's the, let's say, dropout rate from your hires, 10% or 50% from, let's say, in the first 3 months?
We've had 2 people that we've had to let go in the last 2 years because of underperformance. And it was really they just didn't want to do the job. They loved the people. They were referrals. They loved the people, but we really do make sure that, some people learn differently and they need a little more training.
This is so successful. I can't believe it. I just want to say hi to Mario, the recruiter.com.
Hey,
Raise
folks.
your hand. Okay.
Mario. Hey, I voted for both of you guys. Okay. So don't worry about it.
Do it again tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
Not Rich.
Do it again from a friend's computer, please.
Chris.
Yeah, I can do it from multiple computers.
You've seen multiple work emails.
Yeah. Right. I got 3 work emails. Okay, so you can do from all 3.
That's 3 votes.
Let's get back to the guest for a minute, okay?
Sorry about it.
We'll get to you. Okay, but it's just too good to be true. Don't you feel like it? Or you just say, hey, yeah, that's me. I'm great. Rich.
This is what we've done is our first training program was, here's a laptop, ask questions. And then the training program over the last few years has really developed into curriculum, and it really follows our process. And our hiring is now, ramping up accordingly. We've actually created an internal recruiting team, which is going to get bigger. Our training team is getting bigger, and we're just scaling it up now.
Quick question. You mentioned 85% of the client's requirements. That's what you're trying to meet. Do you actually go through some sort of a quantification of those basic qualifications?
So typically we're talking about 85% of what in the calibration. We're trying to show candidates that will show that we understood what we were told. If we're off, if we show profiles that are false positives, product development in banking is very different from product development in software. And if we accidentally put on somebody that's product development in software from a banking company, the hiring manager is going to be able to tell us, or the client recruiter is going to be able to tell us we were off and explain why, so that we don't make the same mistake. And so it's only in the calibration profiles that we try to find people that are 85% or better. But those are also people that we're reaching out to as quickly as possible so that we can,
Where do your new people, these people are trained for like 2 weeks. They've never been a recruiter before. Are they ultra confident? Where do they get the confidence of, I can call up any, programmer or expert and whatever they are, and I don't mind talking to them. I'm not afraid of looking like a dummy. Okay.
Because in training, we're not doing philosophical training. They're doing research. They're contacting candidates. They're screening candidates in the training process, and they're all together. They're encouraging one another. They're giving them feedback about how to improve. And it's literally just, it's a warm environment. This is, again, why empathy is important, because they're getting encouraged and they're coming out confident in their skills, and they just have to learn to trust the process that we teach. And they are wildly
what? I think this relates to what Ivan said, and it's a regular topic of his these days in his Twitter postings. I notice that if your new people are in a group, they can actually perhaps make each other a lot more confident, because they're not at home in their living room with no experience talking to candidates and clients. Instead, they're with a bunch of friendly helpers around them. Is that true?
That is exactly why. We figured out about 4 or 5 years ago that if we let people, do the training and then immediately work from home, or they were doing the training, from home, it just didn't work. They needed to be in the office. And so even with COVID, we've spread the desks out. We have a lot of great AV equipment. We had mask requirements. Now we have vaccine requirements. And so we've been able to create an environment that is safe and secure.
His wife is a famous doctor. We talked about that before the show started, just so everybody knows, okay?
Yeah, my wife is a pediatric hematologist, oncologist with a specialty in pediatric transfusion medicine, and runs the blood bank.
And she walks through their call center every day.
Damn, that sounds expensive.
I made that up, okay?
No, pediatricians don't make money. They don't make money like adult doctors. But my wife has been making the rounds and actually made the national news on Monday on CBS Evening News, asking people to donate blood. There's a major crisis here in the U.S. And so kids that have sickle cell anemia aren't getting their transfusions that they need to become healthy, and surgeries.
Yeah, enough about your wife. Sorry, okay? We're not doctors. Okay.
I had to do my plug to get people to donate blood.
What's her name? Jen.
Dr. Jennifer Andrews at Vanderbilt.
Okay, I've watched her because he posts whenever she's up, and I say, I know that guy. I'm going to find out about his wife. Okay, now
can I say one more thing? Can I say
go
one more
ahead.
thing? My daughter is 8 years old. She has grown up listening to me leave voicemails for people, and she goes into the office. She sat in some of the training. She asked me for my business card, and one of the TAs over at
you have business cards.
I do. They're old, but she actually took my business card to school to give to a student that was graduating from college, and because she said she was going to be looking for a job in May. My daughter heard that, got my card, and we're going to be interviewing her next week.
You should give her a referral fee.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well, no,
any
I
way
saw
to beat the tax man.
Michael G. Cox has two little kids listening to him. I mean, he should do
3.
the same. Okay, yeah. Well, they're all there, right? Okay.
Hey, they learn the Michael G. Cox voicemail for sure.
They canceled school for the next couple of days down here.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, if they
that
want to come on
sucks.
camera, they're welcome. I just want to tell everybody that I'm doing something new in 2022. I always feel bad. I get all these LinkedIn connection requests from all over the world, and people are irrelevant for me. So I feel, but I feel bad just rejecting them, right? So I just leave them there. I get these long lists of so now I just hit ignore. Ignore. I don't send them messages. I'm sorry, I can't help you. Boom, boom, boom. And you know what? It feels kind of good. Okay.
I had to delete a few thousand.
Hey, Michael, you didn't delete me, right?
I
No.
might, but
I'm going to cancel your vote.
you because like I'll take all of like the Middle East and then just delete everything. And then I'll take everything.
Name a region.
I'm in DC.
You're going to get the show in trouble. There's people just dying to say bad things about us. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
The other 7 listeners, Mike, you're not going to.
Okay. Just hold on. You don't have to have a lot of listeners for people. The enemies are listening now.
Exactly.
But I want to know. Rich Rosen has some principles. Everybody's got their rules, right? And Rich Rosen has one that people who are moving for money will make you cry. I don't believe it. But I'm wondering, Chris Murdoch, the training genius of know-nothings into super recruiters that their clients just love. I want to know if you teach them that same thing when they're recruiting people for you. People who are moving for money will make you cry, presumably because they'll accept the counteroffer.
So you of course asked Rich right as he put something in his mouth.
Yeah,
You'll back me up.
Like, the end of the day, if that is their only reason for moving is just for money, they will break your heart. There's got to be more to it.
Rich, I mean, Chris, do you teach your people something like that about, people who want money or ask about money first?
We try not to, we don't want them to have our bias or we want them to kind of learn these things on their own. And oftentimes they'll come to us and they'll ask questions like, we have a client that says we don't want to relocate anybody from this city. They'll never move. And I'll say, okay, well, don't contact those people right away, but contact them eventually. You never know. You might find somebody that's willing to make the move. So we try not to, we want people to experience a lot of these things on their own, but we will point out that there will be some issues that, candidates might go dark on you. Candidates might say, yeah, I'll move, but the money's got to be right. But we're trying not to say, don't do it.
Talking about something irrelevant, people can't follow a conversation like that. I asked you about something very specific. I'm going to move away from you for a minute.
The answer was no.
Okay, that was enough.
That was and then I gave you the clarification.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Last time you were here, I asked you a question and you said yes. And I said, that's a good answer. It was nice and clear. And then you stopped. Okay.
I'll do that.
Michael G. Cox is on stage right now. Okay. He's delivering. He already made it public. I want to make it public here about how to reconnect with somebody you called before who rejected you, right? You called somebody in April. They told you to buzz off.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And now you got them back on the hook. How did you do it?
No, I did nothing. The dude ignored my message for 9 or 10 months. And now is like, hey, man, I'm interested in that job. I'm like,
that job from back then? That's an idiot.
Yes.
Hands off.
No, man, I'll take him, dude. He's a solid sales candidate. He just didn't need a job back then.
He's contacting you 9 months later for the same job. What is he? He's an idiot. That's what he is.
I don't care, dude. I got other jobs right in the same.
He's just using it as a way to get back into call with some.
Yeah, man. I'll take it. I'm not going to be, all sensitive about that. Ignore me. I don't care. Come on back.
Yeah.
We're recruiters. We deal with ignoring. Being ignored every day.
Yeah,
maybe not Rich, but yeah, we do.
Yeah, no one wants
whatever,
to
man.
Us,
well, Rich says, I like what Rich says. Rich says, you're a sales guy. You're going to get rejected all day, every day. Get used to it. It's nothing. People are going to get mad at you for stupid reasons. Rich tells you that in advance. I learned from him. Okay.
Hey,
and even maybe Chris. Go ahead, Mike.
The little superpower that most recruiters either don't employ or forget about entirely. I took a few weeks off during the holidays, came back, and I was sick with the Rona all last week. So Monday was my first day back on the phones, and I felt nervous. Like I was doing picking up the phone, calling. I was like, oh shoot, man, what if he rejects me? And people actually started answering the phone, and I got back into it. I was like, okay,
I didn't forget
I don't have to go find a job.
I never expect a response. So when I do, I'm pleasantly surprised. So
well, it caught me off guard that everybody that I called on Monday, I kid you not, everybody answered the phone. Maybe it's because of the industry that I was calling in, but all of these people just answered the phone, which was weird. And they're all
first day of the year. Maybe that's the reason. Okay.
Directors of sales.
Second week of the year.
Second week.
Sorry.
Second week.
Okay. But hold on.
I'm a fact checker.
Let's ask Chris Murdoch that. Okay. Now he's obviously told us he's got a superpower now. He takes these people and shapes them like God from clay. Okay.
I have a question if you don't mind.
Clay and spit.
My question first. This is a burning question now. Does he tell people you're going to meet jerks? You're a salesperson. You're going to meet jerks, and here's how to deal with them. I want to know. And then Mario's up. Go ahead.
Yes.
No.
Now
you have to elaborate.
We actually don't say flat out people are going to be jerks, but we will tell them that you can expect a certain response rate for this position and that position. Sometimes a rejection isn't personal. It just means that it's not the right timing. And if somebody ignores you, don't take it personally. We
don't take anything personal.
Because right now, in their personal lives and their previous careers, they're calling aunts and uncles and friends, and they're getting responses. They're about to start reaching out to complete strangers. They're going to start contacting, emailing, calling, in-mailing, whatever the case may be.
Not only that, they're calling strangers who other people are bugging. Those people hate recruiters.
Yeah. So the secret sauce here is we set the expectation. You are going to get rejected. You are going to get nasty grams of, why are you emailing me at my job? So why are you emailing me here? My boss is reading my emails. Okay, well, maybe you should leave that company. But we set the expectation. Don't take it personally. This will happen. And if you have questions, raise your hand. We'll help you talk through a response.
And that's all they need. That's incredible. Wow. Okay, Mario, you're up.
Wait, can I ask first a quick question?
Please go ahead.
Wait, you got how many? You said you hired 250 recruiters, or how many did you guys?
We have 4 just in the last year. Yeah.
So how many work out of that 250? How many last?
He told he told Ivan 2 left in the last few years.
Really? In the last 2 years.
He's only got 2 left.
Yeah.
No. So, but the thing is, it's we are hiring. Yes, of the new to recruiting, it's a very low turnover.
Wow.
And then we do still hire experienced recruiters. Everywhere, anywhere from 4 years of recruiting experience to 30, 40 years.
Are you guys straight commission, or do you pay salary or
salary?
And plus commission.
No commission.
No shit. What do you pay for salary?
I'm not saying, but no, but typically the thing is, just because we're more like an in-house recruiting team than we are an agency.
Oh,
okay.
Wow.
Okay, so
Mario.
Chris, my
Mario's
question.
up.
So you guys are not into a niche per se. You
No.
guys work for, okay, all right. So in-house, okay. So you team up with a company and you all work together on kicking out the other recruiters or the staffing agencies?
Our team is just there to augment our clients.
Augment. Do you know what augment
Okay, like an
means?
RPO. Am I correct?
Yeah, no.
It's a hybrid.
Hybrid RPO. Okay, cool.
It is a hybrid.
Okay,
No,
so you're
an
the enemy
RPO
now.
takes over. Mario, it's for the 4th time. I know maybe it's hard to understand. Okay. An RPO takes over your recruiting process entirely, as far as I understand. He just rents out people by the hour as needed. They come and go.
No, animal and RPO can have various forms also. There are multiple hybrids nowadays.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm curious, how do you determine, like a client comes to you and says, I need 50 folks to work in our retail stores in, across Tennessee. Tennessee. How do you determine how many hours that are going to be required for that?
Well, we work backwards from when do you need to fill those jobs? How similar are they all? Are they all the same? Are they all in the same region? Once we determine those that criteria, we'll work backwards. From like a 30 to 60 day time to fill, or is it 6 months? And we'll either do part-time. You can do 20 hours of a person, 40 hours. Or we've had clients that have come to us and said, we need 20 sourcers.
Yeah, and then my assumption is you've got some sort of clip level built in to where you say, look, we will do only sourcing, like list building, or we will do sourcing, screening, and submittals, and that's it. Or we'll do all of that and work on scheduling all the interviews and set up offer letters. You doing the whole thing like that?
Whatever the client needs us to do. We're part of their team. They use us like their team. So
what are most of your clients doing?
Research, engagement, pre-screen, get them in the system, get them scheduled.
Okay, so if you don't mind, a question, Chris. So basically, you guys work on a standard fee with the client, correct?
Standard hourly rate. Standard hourly rate.
Okay.
And we operate with their email. Our team is operating in their email, their ATS, their CRM, or both. And
that's awesome.
Yep.
I understand what he's saying.
That's a nice
I just
model.
can't imagine how it works. Okay.
Dude,
it works, Animal. It works.
What's crazy? I'm no Chris Murdoch up in here, but I just got a little notification from QuickBooks said I just received another deposit from this client who I dedicate 2 hours to per day, and all I do is source, screen, and submit, and then I step out of the situation.
You're an experienced person. He's hiring people off the street. Okay, they're sending their moms and dads.
But it's cool to see how these things work.
Animal, if you have an experienced guy overseeing them, you can do that. That's what I'm doing in my team.
What are you guys doing for an hour?
He's got 400 people, Mario. You got 7.
Yeah, so, but 8 now.
All right, well, Mike and Chris, what do you guys get for an hour for these services?
So we charge $75 an hour for the sourcing.
How much? I couldn't hear Mike.
75.
Animal was talking.
75. $75 an hour, and then full life cycle recruitment is 110.
Cool.
My God.
I give them 2 hours a day, and I'm billing $5,000 per month for that.
2 hours a day. What do you get done in 2 hours a day for them? That's
not
great.
Very much, dude.
I know. Good for you. That's awesome.
all I do. How much is that? 5,000.
But he must be Rich.
$125 an hour.
Go ahead. I'll quote him.
He must be saving the company at least $200K in hiring fees.
I'm sure.
Maybe. Yeah, but so all I've done is, again, I just find the candidates, have a conversation with those candidates, and then submit the candidates, and they're off to the races. I see the emails going back and forth every now and again that says, the VP of sales says, hey, so-and-so, contact this individual, schedule, interview, go. And every now and again, I'll send a quick say, what's up? Like, hey, have you spoken to Rich yet? What's going on?
Dude, that is, I probably have a third of my clients that they're paying me the full recruiting fee, and the internal recruiter will take it over. And
yeah,
I mean, those are the kind of lower end ones that half the time they don't get filled, but they're fill rate. But
and our clients, our clients treat us as if they're part of the in-house team. So we are actually processing applicants, referrals, passive candidates, and even agency candidates.
Hey, you guys are doing the
Chris, can I ask you a question if you don't mind? So you should have at least roughly from a business perspective about 100 clients to actually match your overall turnover, everything. Am I correct?
150 right now.
Right. Okay. So the math makes sense.
Yeah. Well, one of our clients hired away one of our employees, and they became a client, and now So we have produced a family of recruiters. I reach out to. I know you hate that word, but I always I'm texting former employees, calling them, and a lot of them are clients now. It's great.
Damn, man. If you change to contingency, you can make at least 10 mil a year easily. I mean, with few more people working with you.
Our revenue is a little bit higher than that.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's got a very sellable business. Like, I mean, if you knew Boris, Chris, I mean, he crushed it with, when he got it sold to Robinhood, with doing the same model.
Oh,
yeah, we got, by getting acquired by, Caldwell and them being able to fund our expansion. Has just been a phenomenal partnership, and it's just been great.
Okay, one more question, Chris. How long have you been doing this? I mean, this particular business.
2009 is when I started IQ Talent.
11 years.
But we hit on the billable hours model in 2013 when the former CHRO of Yahoo became a board member, and then the following year he converted to run the company.
Oh. That makes total sense.
Yeah, David Winley.
10 years at least to grow a business this big.
It's been organic until recently. Until recently, it was with Caldwell. We get to say, "Hey, Dad, we need money."
Awesome. Ivan, you want to say anything?
Impressed, by that. And Mario's a smart guy. He came up with the 100th client number. It was correct.
Hey man, I'm a business
Mario's
guy.
A genius.
First, a recruiter second. Always remember that.
I have one. So,
you know what? I've had searches where they say, "I want a businessman." So you have to figure out what that
Call
means
me.
exactly. Yeah. Well, they want a businessman before the rule. Okay. So if anybody's got anything else to say, just butt in. But I want to throw these riches principles at this guy who's training those super recruiters who can take on anything. Okay, that's what Chris is essentially telling us. He's got an army of robot recruiters. You are programmed to succeed.
Feeling robots. Feeling robots.
Yeah. Okay. Androids.
I want to do the same model, but with like an inside sales channel.
Okay. Rich Rosen says, and he's like an oracle on this show. Okay.
Yeah.
He says, don't send out job descriptions. I haven't sent out one for 25 years. Okay. Thumbs up on that?
Yeah, dude, nobody reads that crap.
Hey, you need it for a tech role, guys. I mean, you guys are forgetting tech.
He's in tech.
What? Why? It's not tech. Every job description is the same. Go pick one and say, these are the 3 things that are different than company A wanted.
Okay, I'm going to disagree on that thing. You have not seen government tech roles which involve full stack engineering, clearances, and a headache.
But how is it different? What's one tech role to the next?
Yeah,
you need to know Perl versus Python versus C++ or whatever,
If you understand the requirements and when in the email or the voicemails that you're leaving, if you talk about the main requirements, not all the time do candidates need a position description. If a candidate asks for it, we'll send it, but we never send it unsolicited.
No.
Yeah, same here. We only send an email with a small blurb. This is what they're looking for. This is what they need. Are you interested?
Yeah, I mean, I learned early on, people that ask if you get to send stuff, they're really not interested. You just caught them at a bad time, or they're just they weren't paying attention to what you said. So set up another time, talk to them, walk them through it. Because if they start doing research on their own as their main decision point, you got a good chance they're not coming back.
Hold on a second. Aren't these IT people, like Mario just said, they're what used to be called anal, okay? They're very analytic. They have to see it themselves. They can't do anything spontaneously, like on the phone or, I'll take that offer. I have to think, okay? Aren't those people psychologically oriented towards seeing things on paper?
You're going to give them a website to go check out anyway, which then the job description is going to be there. But there's going to be the websites there for them to look at where they're going to do some. I'm not saying don't do any research at all, but I'm saying they're going to get off the phone with you, send their resume. Why they send the resume? They're going to go look up the company, or you would hope, read up on the company anyway. But just sending another job description is like,
Chris.
Well, sometimes the job descriptions, have more than just, here's a basic job description. You know, it's typically when they're asking for it, it's an executive level role, or it's a really nuanced role, and they want to kind of know, what does the organization look like? How many direct reports do I have? Some of our clients have, you know, really, it's not just a position description, it's a position profile. And it has all the details about the revenue or what the team looks like, how many employees, where are they? It ends up having a lot more of that information.
Yeah, but that's not just a job description. That's a corporate summary. I mean,
that's not a job description. That's something much more interesting.
We do work with people that just want to know, that they want all the information. You know, like Animal was saying, you know, people that want all that information, we're going to give it to them. We want them to have all the information so that they can, if they are interested, they can.
I just have to tell you, rather than feeling inspired, after I hear what he's doing, I feel inadequate. Okay.
Now you know how I feel when it comes to like living with my wife. It's like my wife is
hold on. You make more money than her. She gets on TV.
Oh no, she. This is the thing. She makes more money than I do because of the way that we've grown the firm. It's last year was the first year I've gotten my full paycheck. My
cash poor. Hey, you're cash poor. He guy's got a company with 400 people, and he depends on his wife to feed the family.
Come on, that's a beautiful tax technique to cut your taxes. Hey.
Well, no, we find that growth is more important, and that's what we're focused on.
It's good.
Okay.
Great business. I mean, it's a great business you built.
Obviously, he's grown to 400K.
He's so happy. That's a business I can just see is full of headaches when you hire all these. You take responsibility yourself for so many people. I can't see. He's so pleasant. I know.
Animal.
He's such a
Why
pleasant
be a special
guy.
person to run it that way?
Animal. I'll tell you something. Chris is playing the really long game. Okay.
I like herding cats.
Yeah. Well, you know, like during the pandemic, you know, during the initial part of the pandemic, I mean, we had to furlough 66% of the team.
Ouch.
But we kept paying their benefits, and they were still employees. We included everyone on all hands, all the emails. We didn't turn anything off. And when everything came back in August, we were able to bring everyone back and take advantage of the growth because we didn't do layoffs. And we were able to just blow up again. It was great.
What made you guys do that? I mean, it's a big expense to cover.
It was we did.
We're not known amount of time.
We were ready to pay the PPP. We did get the PPP funds.
Yeah.
And we were ready to pay it back. We were not about to bring everyone back to do a job that didn't need to be done. And so we were prepared to treat it as like a 1% loan. And when they extended the usage from July to October, we were able to use that as our relaunch. And we were able to use that the way it was meant to be used, which was take care of the team as best you can. And then, you know, when things come back, and we were fortunate that things came back when they did, and we were able to take advantage and, you know, just come out just blazing.
Good for you.
Awesome, man. Seriously.
Anybody want to ask a question? Mario, you got a question? I got lots of stuff, but if you got a relevant question, I know you want to learn.
I don't have
Chris.
any question right now.
You don't have another question?
I'm done.
Thank you.
Damn sure.
Okay. Here's a situation I bet nobody here could solve. And it's a real story. I got it from a Facebook group. I believe
It's a real story from Facebook.
Yeah, she had a candidate. This recruiter had a candidate. Okay, and she had a regular partner, but she was interested in some other guy. Okay.
Oh, I saw that post.
Yeah, and if she got an offer, the whole thing about accepting the offer would be if she stayed with her current boyfriend or went with the new guy. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Because the new guy lives somewhere else and she would have to relocate. So this recruiter was caught in the middle of a love triangle. Okay, does anybody have how they would play it? Would they get him? I believe there are recruiters who would get on the phone with her and try to convince her to remain loyal to her current partner.
No, I would tell. I will call the partner and tell him to leave her.
Well, you lose your money then. Okay, so what happened was that
guy be a forever customer of mine. Okay, that's the game, the long game. Like how Chris is playing.
The candidate went with the new guy. She didn't make the placement. Okay. Your answer was no good, Mario. Okay. Okay. What about this? A hiring manager sort of sounded like someone with too much experience who, should have been sent out to pasture already. He'll decline people for a typographical error on the resume. Okay. What would you do, Chris? What would you tell your people if that happens?
First, I do tell the team, review the resume, review the LinkedIn profile, make sure everything's appropriate, and you can suggest changes. So we try to catch the grammatical errors and the spelling errors. Sometimes our clients want detail-oriented people, and that is not that shows that the person is not detail-oriented if they do that. Other clients don't even notice. So
anybody else want to come in on that? What's Rich
Depends
saying?
on the role.
Tell the client to buzz off or smarten up?
It depends. I mean, it's a rep role. I just usually tell them if I don't catch the mistake, I just tell them, listen, the guy did it in a hurry for me, and then you move forward. You move forward. And if that's, I'm like, here's a guy these are sales guys too. So if here's a guy that's made, millions of dollars for companies, you're going to, ding him because he forgot to cross a T, he left off a period.
Yeah,
what about
that's
this
ridiculous.
One? Okay, rejecting candidates because they're not enthusiastic enough at the interview.
Yeah, I mean, if they're just boring,
They're not
for sales folks,
boring.
it makes sense.
They just don't seem excited.
Yeah,
for sales folks, it makes sense.
Especially on the phone. I always tell everybody to take it up a few notches as far as their energy excitement level, because on the phone, if you're normal on the phone, you're falling flat.
Yep.
And you got no physical, nobody can see you kind of making the noises and making the faces and moving your hands and all that stuff. So you got to take it up a few notches.
Chris, is it a bad sign if the hiring manager doesn't think the candidate was a qualified candidate, was enthusiastic enough to join her company?
Culture fit's important to a lot of people, and if they want enthusiastic, cheerleader types, then that's what they want. And I can't tell a client that they're wrong for that. It just means that I got to do a better job of either coaching the candidate, like Michael was saying, or screening for excitement and screening for energy. And you can do that over the phone, like Michael said.
How do you know in advance? Do you ever ask with these intake sessions? You call them kickoff sessions.
We try.
Do you say, hey, do you want an excitable person or someone who's low key? I mean, is that what you ask?
We got to read the client.
Yeah. Yeah, you ask those types of culture questions, or the culture questions are part of our process. And so we're trying to get a feel for not just what these people are going to be doing or what they've done, but we also try to figure out who they, what kind of person.
I'm so confused. You can see the veins on my forehead sticking out.
This all comes back to why we hire empathetic problem solvers.
The animal likes black and white answers in recruiting.
I do. I like it.
There's no black and white in recruiting.
Exactly.
That's why it's hard for me to answer yes or no.
Yes.
Okay. Here's the final one. I dare you guys to be so understanding on this one. The hiring manager rules out the candidate because she has successfully advanced her career by changing jobs every 3 to 5 years.
3 to 5 years is fantastic. What are you talking about?
That's great.
So hold on.
My clients were paying extra for those people.
This recruiter reported that the hiring manager was not happy with that. If your hiring manager said that, what would you say, Rick?
I did that. I've had this conversation with hiring managers in corporate and also now independent. And basically, I have a hiring manager that says, hey, I don't know, man, it seems kind of job hoppy. This person has moved careers, has moved from one job to the next every 3 years. I'm like, dude, if you could find somebody that would last for 3 years, you would be very happy because your current turnover rate sucks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, in my world, I deal with startup software companies. The average tenures in California, I think it's like 11 months. And I think the rest of the market's like 18. So, I mean, the end of the day is these clients that want people that have been places 3, 4, 5 years. I'm like, no shit, we all do.
But I heard for sales, it's good to have like 2 sales cycles. Isn't that at least 24 months?
I mean, yeah, the best salespeople do stay. The problem is it's not always a candidate fault. You got to explain to them. Sometimes you go to a company that runs out of money, it gets acquired. They get new managers and that micromanagement to the hill. So to just say blanketly, again, these black and white answers that nope, anyone that's moved after a year and a half is garbage is completely erroneous, and they miss out
because you don't know the situation. No,
I mean, it's like saying, like, what if you went on a bunch of dates? Does it mean you're like a bad human being because you dated 15 people in a year? No,
it's more like you've been married 5 times. Okay, exactly. Maybe something's wrong with you then.
Exactly. And listen, some of the people you're married to that you lasted 7 years with, maybe you're going to heaven for it. Who knows?
Beating the curve.
Ivan, do you have any example? Do you have, what would you do in that situation?
So I try to explain it in the client note. So like I sent always the PDF resume and also like a blurb above it merged with my ATS clang.so. It's like in 3 seconds done. Actually saying exactly this. Like it says directly, like the last 2 jobs were short because firm A, the person has been moving to another country, and firm B, the company ran out of money. And then
but what about firm C? He moved because he wanted to get a better job somewhere else, and that's perfectly legitimate.
It is, but if they moved every year because just for more money, well, that's a problem. But like these clients that are like, oh my God, what happened in 2020? How'd you leave your job? Like, I don't know, this little pandemic happened, and they act like, well, it doesn't matter.
That doesn't count. What does
it
Chris
does
say?
count. That's what these morons do, though. It does count. You actually have to remind them.
There's also another, the thing is, I actually agree quite a bit with everything that's been said so far, but there's also another one. There are companies that get acquired, and it looks like they spent 8 months at one company. And if you look at the next company, it's the acquirer, but it doesn't mention it. It just
they didn't break it up on the resume.
Yeah. And so I've seen recruiters, make decisions and snap judgments based on the lack of description about that they've been with the acquirer for 4 years or a year, and they were at the previous company for less than a year, and they're going to get dinged. It's like, no, it's actually a combined 20 months.
Yeah,
it's
that's why I always I always make the candidates fix their resume so it shows this was acquired, and they have the dates, on the far right, so it shows both combined.
But think about the people that are being screened out of even from a research perspective. Yeah. So without the context, sometimes you're screening people out.
This is why I do my own research.
That little box that says I want someone that's got a year of experience.
Yeah.
In a current job.
That's why, like, I know for me, for startups, it's super hard to train, like, VAs to do that stuff because there's so many acquisitions, they wouldn't possibly know them all. So it becomes impossible.
Anybody else on this one? It's the end of the show. Ivan, were you saying something else?
Yeah, just like exactly. I mean, the best option is like Rich said, like you tell the person on the phone, like, okay, can we correct this now in your CV, please? Yeah. And if that is not possible, I just put it in the blurb.
Okay, but I think the real issue is what Chris said. You look at their LinkedIn profile and it's confusing. Okay, and
you have to know.
You have to check that. Okay, I want to congratulate Chris. He's the first. Is he the first? Yeah, he's the first guest of this year, and he's the only one booked. Nobody else. I put up those things every single day. Be a guest on the Recruiting Animal Show. He's the only guy who bid, and I think it was because I posted a lot of clips from your last show, and you said, hey, this wasn't so bad. I'm going to come here. So IQ.
That's a raving review. This wasn't so bad.
Okay. Pretty much everybody who ever dated me before I met my wife.
It wasn't so bad. It wasn't so bad. I mean, it could have done worse.
Okay, so IQTalentPartners.com. I'm sure impressed, I got to tell you, by what the stuff he told us today. The salesrecruiter.com, but really it's ZagWorks, ZAGWORX.com. The reason I'm telling you that is,
or spell it correctly, ZAGWORKS.com. They both work.
You need to use the same one for the vote, though.
Yeah, he's desperate to get you to vote for him. That's why he had to correct me, okay? And
type in whatever, you'll get it.
But just go to coldcallrecruiter.com and you can vote for cornerstonesearch.com and zagworks.com the way I told you to do it. MarioTheRecruiter.com, raise your hand. Clang SO. Yes, he's pointing to it. Okay, that's it, everybody. And IQ Talent Partners, I thanked you already. Come back,
Thank you.
okay?
I'll
Take
come
care.
back anytime you want me.
Okay, great.